Welcome to Unwinding with Support Group, a mental health podcast by licensed professionals where we discuss mental health topics from a real-world perspective, all while having a drink. So hang out, have some laughs, enjoy the ride, and maybe learn a bit. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Unwinding with a Support Group. Per usual, I am Arlene. I'm an LPC. With me tonight, I have Kelly, who is an LPC as well.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, I almost said LMH, whatever. Regardless, Kelly is under the weather, so she's a trooper for showing up with us tonight. So if you're like, that doesn't sound like her because you are an avid listener, for which we do appreciate that.
Yes, very much so.
It's because she's ill and she's trooped through this by inhaling soup to warm her vocal cords to show up. So while that might not be what she's drinking tonight, it is what made her be able to be here.
I am drinking a concoction of some liquor and tea.
Well, at least it wasn't liquor, tea, and NyQuil. Here we go.
Well, actually, I do have the NyQuil on deck.
Okay, first of all, that was fantastically hilarious because that wasn't planned and she has NyQuil handy. Oh, that's fucking funny. All right, I am drinking an apple Moscato by XXL 16. So we'll see what happens because I haven't had it before, but it sounded yummy.
Cool.
See what happens. You know how this goes. Try new wine, see what happens. It's either really good or really not. And then I power through it either way. It's so bad. But today's episode, as indicated last time, is about types of treatment. So that means inpatient, PHP, IOP, outpatient, what those mean, and what's kind of expected each one of those levels, because that is important to know.
Yes.
They're not just some random words that are used in mental health. They actually mean something. And we are going to be talking about them from a mental health perspective. Understand there is a physical health perspective of each one of these types of levels of care as well. We are not going to discuss that from that perspective. That's not what this podcast does. It's all right. It's okay.
Is it mid?
It's mid.
I see your face. They can't see your face. I keep wanting her to do YouTube so you all can see her face and our faces, but it seems
next season. I think next season.
Next season.
Next season we'll move to video.
It's mid, y'all.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I was expecting, I think, a little sweeter, but
okay, yeah.
You know, I think I was expecting a smidge sweeter, but it's not bad. All right. So, Kelly, I'm thinking we should start from the highest level of care and work our way down. What do you think?
That sounds good.
All right. So, highest level of care is inpatient treatment. Colloquial, commonly, you'll hear these terms, psych wards. You'll hear them, mental health units. Those are different language, behavioral health units. Those are common languages that you might hear. There is a inpatient treatment for like a substance use, which is a little bit different than just like a hospital inpatient stay for mental health reasons. And there's important to denote the two. So I'll start with the boring stuff of what inpatient is. It's usually for severe crisis needing immediate stabilization, safety monitoring, or medication management. That is what inpatient care is supposed to be for. So think suicidal, psychosis. You need severe med adjustments and you need somebody to watch them. You watch you like 24 hours a day, right? Because like you need big med adjustments or your symptoms are severe enough that with those med adjustments, it's unpredictable. So you need medical staff around while that levels out. Sometimes it's like diagnosis like schizophrenia that stay for like med management like that while they're leveling out and getting those meds correct. Or again, we're back to psychosis, things like that. It's a 24-hour stay. short stays, right? We're not talking 30-ish days, typically 7 to 14. It's acute stabilization, right? Um, if you're lucky, some places might keep you a little bit longer, but if we're moving into a behavioral like health unit, then they may do 30-ish days, sometimes a bit more, but we're going to probably end around 30 days. And we can go around and around about why it's 30 days, whether you want to take the science approach or the insurance approach. And I'll tell you it's a payment approach.
Yes.
So it's an insurance approach.
It's always
So
always that. Yes.
it's the stay has to be medically necessary. And it's hard to medically say it's necessary for acute care longer than 30 days. So if you think about it from that perspective, an insurance company isn't going to want to set care, like pay for that because they're going to say it's no longer acute. It's been going on for a long time, which, yes, I know the logic doesn't logic. Like I hear you, but we're not debating logic about insurance companies.
There's no logic with them, but okay.
So think about it like that. Typically you get medical supervision, psychiatric evals, therapy, sometimes group, and obviously med management. Am I missing anything?
No, I don't think so. I think, my background is from a residential standpoint, which is the 30 plus ish, air quotes, God praying, candle lighting, whatever you do that make brings you comfort. Extended stay, uh, from a substance use standpoint, and all of it really does come down to grant funding and insurance basis on whether or not you can get that approved. But the bottom line comes down to, you know, approval versus need. And I know from where I am now, because I moved, and where I was working, they have now opened up long-term facilities, but these long-term facilities, air quotes, are judicial and punitive. They're not involved in actual um, care in regard to certain things. So we also have to contend with that when we're looking at the types of, care involved. I think because whenever legalities become involved in this, it changes things.
For sure. Because Kelly also brought it up, I too have a background in residential inpatient substance use treatment for the long term care. We would typically keep people 45-ish days to complete a program. Sometimes it's a bit longer, but there was definitely like again, there's necessity to being there, progress that is making, and substance use residential treatment like is different, right? You're getting therapy, there might be medication management, there are groups involved, there's a lot like consistently going on throughout the day um, to meet that level of medical necessity. At that level to say, hey, you know, we're getting all these baseline skills. We're talking about like a withdrawal detox as well, usually in that process. Though I'll point out that, most insurance companies will deny that amphetamines have a withdrawal process.
Yeah.
But that's because they don't term it as deadly. Where, opiates they care about just a smidge. And so really the only one that they really care about from a withdrawal perspective is alcohol. Um,
And
which
benzos.
is, yeah, because of the health impact. So you're more likely to get stay or a detox on that. Which we're not debating right or wrong, just stating facts because
Hmm.
I could go on a whole nother fucking tangent on that. But hey, here we are. So recognizing that there are things that, happen. There are, things. Usually for residential treatment, again, you're living there, you're eating there, lots of things are happening while you're going through the program, whatever program that is.
Mhm.
So, um, if that is something that you need, I would recommend that you look at something that you, or your loved one, I guess I should say, that is science backed. Like you can look at the program, there's evidence to it. It's not, there's statistics, you're looking at the program they're doing where they're showing you actual therapies, actual things that are happening because, substance use, the nature of it, you have to learn things.
Yes.
And so even if your faith and spiritual is part of it, that's great. You still need other tools and skills because of how your substance has been used to cope with things. Like, so understanding, looking at the modalities of therapy that are given and picking from that. I am not going to say you should necessarily look at a treatment center's like statistics about success as your criteria of saying this is the best one. But you can, they're a good indicator. They're not the only indicator.
I, in my time in working with substance use, have found that the criteria for success is often very fluid, um, and can change very quickly. And success means a lot of different things to different people.
Correct.
So I agree with you on that. Not to look at what one person says is success, because success could be based upon that treatment center's idea of, oh, you graduated our program.
Yeah. Or we followed up with you in a year and we heard from you and you said you were sober, or we didn't hear from you, so we assume you're sober.
Yes,
And so recognizing because you didn't tell us you relapsed, we consider that a success.
exactly.
So there is fluidness in that, which is important to know, which is why the statistics of success rates, they're there. And I'm not saying they're lying to you or they're fabricating or making things up, but understand the perspective of what is considered success may not be what you think they're labeling as success. Just important to know, not that they're trying to misconstrue data or anything. So it's more about the therapy that's provided and the services that they're going to get. That's the important thing, or that you're going to get.
And
Uh,
to an aside, just always ask questions. If you have questions, ask.
yeah,
I tell that to everybody that I work with. If you have a question, ask it. You know, there's no harm in that. If your loved
for
one is
sure.
going into a residential program and you want to know what that looks like as far as, how they measure success, or, what the program looks like as far as treatment goes, ask.
Exactly. I think that's important to know, like, what that might look like. Those are questions. Ask it. If you're going to drop off your kids, your loved one, your significant other, your best friend, and you're their support and you have questions, ask. If you're doing legwork, it's okay to ask questions. It is okay to ask questions. Next up on the list would be PHP. This is partial hospitalization. I bet you don't know me. Bet you can't guess that that means partial hospital stay. That means they send you home at night. Ta-da! So essentially, you go there during the day and you do programming. Okay. Usually 4 to 8 hours. It's intensive. It's like either groups, individual therapy, things like that. But, you go home at the end of the day. You're not there on the weekends. Basically, they tell you get the fuck out. Thanks for stopping by. We don't house you. It's the step down after like an inpatient or a residential stay. It would be the next lowest level of care, type of thing. You get some psych evals are available, med management. In some settings, they do family therapy. Not all, please know that. But it's generally a day program, and then you go home.
Hmm.
Uh, this is offered for Let me try to think. Substance use, they do this. You can do a PHP type of thing for depression, anxiety, bipolar, PTSD,
OCD.
OCD, eating disorders. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Those are the common ones. Duration for a PHP is 2 to 6 weeks, depending on severity of symptoms. Again, medical necessity. I don't know how much I'm going to say that, but you're probably going to get annoyed with it because I am annoyed with it already. Medical necessity is the thing. Again, you have to need to be there because payment is the name of the game.
Lord God.
What I'm saying is, if they're not going to pay it, you're not going to get there.
Man.
So, but basically, you're there if you can, you don't need round the clock care, but still need some more support. We still need to help. We still need as much help as we can get. But go home and go to bed and eat some dinner. We'll see you on Monday. Don't stay here all weekend. It's a way to have some freedom. It's a way to like use your tools and skills in the real world setting while still being able to learn things as well. If you look at it from a therapy perspective, it's helpful in that way too.
Yes. And, like as we go further into this, I'll probably go deeper into medical necessity versus actual necessity. But when it comes to PHP, it is a logical step down from being inpatient. You're laughing.
I'm sorry, I laughed because she said logic.
I know. That's a great word, isn't it? When it comes to insurance, it's a logical, and you all at home can't see my confetti when I do
And balloons.
oh my God.
What are you doing?
It's the MacBook, like, hold on, I'll show you my thumbs and I'll give you fireworks. Shh.
She's
MacBook
over here just doing all sorts of fun things.
I know. MacBook has like, hand things that show emoticons or something. But PHP is a logical step down from, inpatient, residential inpatient, blah, 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 all the way down to, in my opinion, cover your ass. They want to make sure that you are taken care of step by step by step, because as Arlene will take us through the next piece, you will see that there's another part. And um, it just feels like the yellow brick road of mental health to me.
Concurred. And if we follow the next step down, this is probably a much more common phrase for people. You've probably heard this a lot more, especially if you struggle with some mental health. This one is way more common. IOP, intensive outpatient programming. This one's a little bit weird because it's got a lot more like ambiguity. It's got a lot more freedoms. It's got a lot more things to it. So it depends on where you're going, what it does, what it's offered, what's happening, all the things and the stuff. But understand that. It's like you see, it's like giving a teenager a driving permit. That's what IOP is. I'm going to
Yeah.
send you out, but you still need an adult with you.
Yep.
Right before we just give you the license and say, go drive a car. So what is IOP? Essentially, it's somewhere between 9 to 20 hours of therapy a week. See, told you, it varies. And you want to know why it varies? Because each insurance company has a different requirement for how many hours that is needed for IOP. Dun, da, da, da. So keep that in mind. But typically these are group sessions. You get individual counseling, sometimes medication management, but sometimes, probably not, but sometimes, occasionally, probably not. But you go home, you can work a job, you show up for a couple hours a day, a couple days a week, and you live your life, right? That's essentially IOP. It's again maybe three days a week. I know there are IOPs that meet 5 days a week, but it's rare. They're usually
Yeah.
3 days a week, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday type of deal. Groups sometimes are 2 to 4 hours. They last 4 to 12 weeks-ish, depending on what the program is. Typically, IOPs do CBT or DBT and or like a relapse prevention type program. So like for substance use, eating disorders, blah, 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 fill in the blank. But usually you're treating disorders like depression, anxiety, eating disorders. We've talked about substance uses. We're talking about DBT. So then we're also talking about borderline personality disorders, things like that. So keep in mind that's the stuff that really makes up what IOP is, which for most people is probably the most common form of what they know to be like a mental health structured program because it's the most accessible. It's the one your insurance company is most likely to pay for over and 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 over again, outside of like therapy. But like it's programming wise, this is cheaper. So they have zero problems paying for this, usually.
No, 100%. In fact, and what I want to preface when I say this for a couple of reasons, and the reasons are not like self-aggrandizing, but as evidence of somebody not reading a person's background or what have you, and just how I really want to highlight how common IOPs are and how little accountability they are given. I received in my LinkedIn this week from an unnamed company, a large company, a an offer to lead an IOP group or an IOP group without a license. And I have like multiple licenses. And it was a psychoed license. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And I was very confused by that because my background is all over my LinkedIn. And so IOPs and virtual IOPs are becoming a very big thing. And when they're asking for people to lead IOPs without licensure, I can understand a couple of things. Yes, you're reaching out to people who have just graduated with bachelor's. Understandable. But at the same time, we're offering people mental health programs that really matter. Because this, like Eileen said, or Marlene said, geez, my brain. Um,
Yeah, it's
Eileen,
fine.
Arlene, come on,
You know how many
Arlene.
times people have sung that song to me? It's fine.
Come on, Arlene. Oh,
Don't sing. You don't do that to your voice. Don't do that. Don't do
it makes me want to do it more.
that. I knew it would too, the minute I said it. Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna make you a TikTok.
Oh,
Um,
fuck me.
you're screwed now. Um, like Arlene said, I mean, this is one of the most prolific forms of mental health that people go to. And people are just out there like not reading people's backgrounds and being like, hey, finger guns, you'd be good for this, thumbs up. Like, that
I mean,
concerns me.
probably you would be good for it, but that's not the point.
Oh, fair. Touche.
Not
That
the point, not the point she's making. Uh the point I guess I would also like to say on that note, with the rapid expansion of the ability to seek services through a telehealth platform, which I am a giant proponent of. Please don't get
same.
me wrong. I think telehealth therapy is God's gift to life.
As do I. I will never switch back.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy the ability to be able to see people in multiple states, be licensed in multiple just the ability to see people who no longer have access, or just the amount of it is it's a godsend. But with all good things, there is always a downside because, you can't have one without the other. So if you're looking at an IOP and it's a virtual IOP, please do your research. Please like check into how long the company's been around, right? Like I understand they're popping up like all over the place and yes, not being new is not necessarily bad. It's not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying do your research,
And you can
right?
always look into, like, Arlene and I, we have online presences in regard to our mental health background, like Psychology Today, ZocDoc, things like that. You can always look into those things to verify us. And I think that, do your due diligence. Look into the person that is maybe facilitating that group.
Group, the name of the company, look it up,
Yeah.
right? You do, like look through reviews, look through, right? Okay, we all know this, but I'm going to say it anyways. What's the biggest red flag for a company when you look at reviews? When they're all great.
Yes. Thank
Come on
you.
now. Come on. No, somebody had a shitty experience somewhere. I don't care. Nobody's perfect, especially in the mental health field. Please know there's a bad review somewhere,
Hmm.
except for on my website.
Well,
But
you
that
are
is
welcome to
because
follow.
I picked five and put them there. Please
Listen,
know I picked the five reviews that are on my website. Okay,
whatever.
but I'm transparent
Lovable.
with that.
I love her. She's lovable. It's fine.
uh, that was
I
funny. So
vouch
I was like,
for her.
except for on mine. Mine are all great because I asked for just great reviews, actually.
I don't have a website, so
That was fucking funny. But my point being, if you're looking at a company, looking through it and going like, oh, everything here is cupcakes, candy, rainbows, unicorns,
yes,
and nobody has a negative thing to say, that's a flag.
yes.
That's a flag because when you're working, especially in groups with mental health, somebody is going to have a bad time. Some personality is not going to work out together. There's going to have been somebody who was like removed from the program, kicked out, had a bad time. Like any one of these things, and somebody's going to say something,
Hmm,
right? It's going to be there, even if it's one or two, right? They're
hmm.
going to be there. And that is something that is important because that's a balanced view of what a company is actually doing. And so I think that's important to know that those things should be there. A company should not be hiding negative reviews.
No, they shouldn't. And I think it's important to notice also that companies also are going through people's LinkedIn's and not looking at their actual credentials and just offering people jobs randomly. And that increases the reason why you should, as a consumer, look into the background and look into the reviews. Be an advocate for yourself. I can't say that enough. Advocate for yourself.
For sure. Like I agree 100%. Please do that. So research is important. Make sure you're going to like a place that's good and, you know, meet your needs. And you get what you need. Like honestly, this is your life we're talking about or your loved one's life. You want to make sure it's working and doing what you need. So that's important here. And like I said, all of this is just because it's easy to pretend to be something on the internet, and we all know that. And so I just, reminding everybody of let's make sure we, aren't sending our money to a made up corporation, you know,
Yeah,
in Idaho. Idaho. I made it up. See, in
Iowa.
Idaho.
I literally, like, my sick brain was like, yeah, that's where they grow potatoes.
In Idaho.
Yeah, they grow potatoes
Listen,
there.
I wasn't trying to like pick a place and then them be going like, oh my God, what did Iowa do to us or Idaho? So,
They grow potatoes there. It's fine.
uh, they grow potatoes from corn stalks.
I'm gonna die.
Ah,
For everybody listening, I'm literally dying right now. It's fine. Don't call anybody. It's fine.
All right. So that's going to leave us with the last one. The little last. All there is, there ain't no more. The end of the show. And that is what I do. That's what Kelly does. That's called therapy. It's outpatient. It's outpatient mental health therapy. So that's typically you make your appointment, you show up to see your therapist, you make your appointment, you show up to see your psychiatrist, and keep it fucking moving.
Mm-hmm.
That's outpatient.
Ooh, I'll
I
give
know that one took the most time to discuss. I knew it was going to, um, so I saved it for last. But outpatient is exactly that. It's one session a week, sometimes two, depending on what you need. Once a week, every other week, whatever you and your provider decide you need based on your needs. But you show up, you meet, you leave. Or in my case, you show up on a Zoom and then you leave the Zoom and you carry on with your day in your home.
Same.
Whatever. So that's it. Now, in outpatient, it's every mental health diagnosis because there's therapy for all of it. So I'm not going to run through those because there's too many and we're not doing that. So that's it. Those are the levels of care in which one can find themselves, maybe in the use of along their mental health journey, um, or in the need of right now. And I just think sometimes it's important to understand more of the nuances of what they are, because if you haven't ever done this, then you're probably going, what in the fuckity fuck does this mean? And what is that? And how do I get there? And what am I going to get from it? Because unless you lived in this or you've done this a few times, you don't know until you know.
No, that's a good point. You really don't know until you know. And there are, in my experience, there are a lot of people who have come to me who have been like, I have no idea what I'm doing and nobody will help me. And so I think things like what we're doing are really important because there aren't a lot of people out there who are expending this energy to explain, okay, step by step, this is where you're going.
I know this one, when we get into like the nitty gritty of things, some of the boring shit, it's not, we're not always having as much fun as we do when we talk about the other ones. And I get it. You can only make, some of this shit so much fun. But it's
True.
also super important. So know that. But recognize there is something I want to come back to because I said it 100 million times and Kelly said we should talk about it because she's right. Medical necessity.
Thank you.
All right. So unless you're living in the world of like understanding what medical necessity is, you probably went, I need to be there. Medical necessity. And you would be incorrect. That's not what medical necessity is.
Nope.
Medical necessity is you meet a set requirement to receive this level of care that is determined by, hold on, who do you think? I'm going to let you take a guess. I'll give you some time. A, the facility. B, your condition. Or C, the insurance company.
Do, 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 do.
And if you guessed C, you are, in fact, fucking correct.
Fireworks.
The insurance company sets what it is. I know. You're thinking that's fucked up. And I'm like, I know.
It really is, though.
So that's medical necessity. So it's not necessarily, is it medical necessity? Can you prove it to the insurance company? Why you get denied shit. We're letting the silence speak for itself.
What
So,
silence? Hear crickets.
so just letting you in on some secrets. Shh, don't tell. But yeah, so there's that. So please know that's what medical necessity is. It isn't that you actually need it. It's that your providers can prove to the insurance company based on what the criteria the insurance company has set that you actually need to be there. Now,
Won't turn off.
we've all been there where the doctor says, hey, you need that in medication or you need this procedure. And the insurance company goes, no. So in that case, then you have to rely on like the review and that process of like redetermining and going through that, which all happens. in higher levels of care.
But now that you're talking about it and my little crickets, they were pretty furious about it actually, because they refused to turn off. Um, we are often sent paperwork to kind of ADA paperwork, FMLA paperwork to fill out on your behalf. And we do the best that we can, but it's not always accepted. And it's not that we don't believe that you deserve these accommodations. It's that it comes down to exactly what Arlene is talking about. And at the end of the day, I mean, there's really nothing that can be done at this point except,
Get new insurance for
yeah,
the entire country,
yeah,
but we're
that's
not there.
great.
Um, Now, and those of you in countries with universal health care also identify there are problems with your mental health services as well. I know like UK has issues with their services because they're overloaded. So even though they're free, they're not getting adequate amount of services free.
As good as
Again,
Canada,
mental health crisis isn't just in the US, it's everywhere. There's not enough
Canada too.
providers, there's not enough like treatment. So just because the service is free doesn't mean there's enough people to provide said service. So know that is part of the issue globally, um, as well. So yes, I grasp that. But my point being is like for us, it's here in the United States. It's up to someone on the other end of a phone or an email or at this point AI to fucking say no or yes.
And that's something that I tell my people all the time. They come to me with paperwork, and I'm like, I will absolutely fill this out for you to the best of my ability. But at the end of the day, no matter what I put on here, it's not going to be on me. It's going to be on what they choose,
Yeah,
no matter what I say. And I am truly sorry, but that is the situation that we are in right now.
correct. Unfortunately, that is our reality. Um, And if I start talking about insurance companies more, I'll be here all night because I'll go on a fucking tirade. And
Oh,
I'm not gonna do that. Um, for a variety of reasons. A, I'm not gonna be here all night. B, you will get sick of me bitching about insurance companies.
won't have a voice left
I also will be voiceless.
because I'm right there with her.
uh hmm. And I believe most people here in the US are. We pay fuckloads of money um, to get something, then we have to pay fuckloads on a deductible. Then we still somehow have to pay a copay, on the off chance that maybe, possibly, if the insurance company is feeling frisky, I might get the service that I need or the medication that I need. Possibly. It's
Do I,
maybe.
do I need to show an ankle or something? I don't know what's going on.
But I can only get it on the second Tuesday under a full moon when Mercury is drinking Gatorade under a full moon, the
Do
second
I
half of
know?
the year. Somehow. And that is somehow our insurance, our healthcare system. And yes, I know some of you have really great insurance and you get really great benefits, but it's still a fuckload of money.
I make a joke about T-Poo's halftime show, but I won't.
So recognizing that that's summing up my complaint. And yes, I accept insurance and I have health insurance because I can't not.
I do too. Bright side headway. Shameless self-promotion here.
Listen, I just want you to know she's like, come find me. I'm licensed in these states. You can find me.
Listen, the world's burning itself down. I'll help you with it. Sort of.
Sort of. We can just sit together and cry too. It's fine.
I'll just honk at you. I'll be like, honk, honk, honk.
Oh, fuck. Oh, we could watch the Olympics. It could be a great time. Who knows?
Right?
Yeah, fuck.
Exposure therapy.
Oh, my. Sometimes I wonder what people say when they leave my office.
I do too. But you know what? They keep fucking coming back. So
So, on a funny note, we'll end with this. One of my clients tells me she talks about me so much at fucking work that her coworkers now send her memes that they think I would like.
that's fantastic. I love it. I fucking love it.
And I think that's the funniest shit.
See, this is when you know you're actually mixing with people. I gotta get memes.
They're like, she said she got an email that's like, I bet Arlene would love this meme. Like,
I
what?
don't
I don't even know these people.
fucking love it.
Apparently they know me. Apparently in her office, I'm fucking famous.
But here's the thing. It's because we're relatable. We're fucking human and we
Um,
refuse to dial down our humanity, homie.
I mean, yeah, but it's so funny.
It's great.
Fucking funny. So
Enjoy your meats. That's
I
fantastic.
don't even, she doesn't even share them with me.
What? That's
No,
rude.
she keeps them to herself. She tells me about
No,
it and then keeps the memes.
no, share those memes, lady. I know you're listening. Share
Yes, she
those
does.
memes.
She does.
Share them.
Also, I'm curious now if her office listens, and now they're just like, oh, she mentioned us.
Somebody share those memes, please.
Listen, my email is out there. You can find me. Hello.
Do we have a Facebook or an
We
Insta?
have a we have an Insta, we have a threads, we have things.
Share the memes. You can like
You can find us, I
anonymize
swear.
yourself. It's
Listen, if
fine.
you think I will enjoy it, I probably will.
If she does, I will, I'm sure.
Oh, sure. I like memes.
I do too.
Who doesn't? I'm surviving. That and caffeine.
I can't believe I survived this whole thing sounding like a whispering goose.
Oh, whispering goose. That's your nickname now.
Like Wuthering Heights, I'm a whispering goose.
That's your new nickname, whispering goose. It's Kelly. I'm sorry, whispering goose is the only way I answer now.
I'm gonna talk to you and you'll be like, I'm sorry, who? And I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
be like, fuck, whispering
I'm
goose?
sorry. I don't respond unless you actually name yourself. Hi, this is Whispering Goose.
Like, do you want to have dinner tonight? And you'd be like, who is this? Kelly. Let me be
Kelly
like,
who? Kelly
Kel,
my Kelly my child? No, I don't think so.
whispering goose.
Oh, I know who that is. Oh shit. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, that's entertaining. And I'm gonna go, as we end this, I'm gonna go mind numb myself by watching the burnt peanut.
What?
Everybody who's like, oh my God, anybody who knows what I'm talking about on our podcast is like, oh my God, she wanted the burnt peanut. He's a
Wait,
streamer.
you said that to us. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
he's funny.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is funny.
fucking funny. And that helps me unwind while he runs around and is silly.
I'm gonna
I have
read.
one good noodle star.
Good for you.
Yeah. He's funny and I don't have to think and he does really ridiculous shit while playing video games and that's funny.
I'm just gonna read and take some NyQuil and hope for the best.
Works. Something should work. So on that note, I thank everybody for hanging out with us once again through an episode where we talked about important things and somehow, usually rambled about weird shit because that's how we do this. And per usual, like, follow, share, send me memes. What the fuck? Um, any of that stuff. Just saying. Um, any stuff. But we do appreciate you being here. And next week, what the fuck are we covering next week? Hold on. Short term treatment options. So solution focused.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was like, what are we doing? I know this. Hang on, I knew this. So
So
how
you
to get
mean
through
like stop
things. Stop it. It's my favorite.
it? Stop it.
My favorite fucking clip. Um, Short-term treatment options. So how to get through like short-term goals, things like that. More solution focused things. So that'll be next time. Um, Again, thanks for showing up. We appreciate you. And Kelly, thanks for hanging out. Sick at everything. I really appreciate you being here.
Hey man, this is I love it. I love y'all.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Unwinding with Support Group. Follow us on Substack. Give us a like, a follow. Give us a comment. Tell us what you hated, what you like, what you want us to talk about next. Let everybody know where they can find us too. But thanks for hanging out with us once again.